second. Okay, you guys, welcome to another session of our Level Up um, call series. This is going to be so much fun. We're going to be talking about something that's just so important, and that is new member onboarding. So in the last few weeks, we've talked about different things to help you level up and rank up in your business. And so this week, we're going to continue that on, because guess what's coming up next week, you guys? Black Friday, then Cyber Monday, right? The weekend after for us here in the States. I see Annalie is here too. Do you guys do Black Friday in South Africa? You do? Yeah, kind of. Okay. I do know in Canada they do it, and I think in some other countries they do it as well. So it's a big deal here. It's when people, you've seen all the videos and the crazy memes of people like outside trampling over each other to get into stores. The great thing about our Black Friday is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home, which is awesome. But this is an important time for us to kind of get ready for all of that. And new member onboarding is a huge piece of that puzzle. I know we've all been working really hard on getting new members, doing workshops. Ashley and Rachel had some great suggestions, and I can't remember if it was the last call or the call before then, in doing Friendsgiving, right? So I hope you all have workshops on that Friday or that Saturday of Black Friday. That's the perfect time to invite people over, get new members. But what do you do once they become a member? What's kind of the next step? And so we've done some different videos and things on this, but I thought it'd be really good for us to talk about this process. And if you've got other questions about new member onboarding, we can certainly ask your questions in the comment box, okay? So Ashley and Rachel, feel free to jump in at any time. But you guys know me. I think most of you know me. I'm a very detailed, process-oriented type person most of the time. There's some times when I fall off of that. But I do like having a process, because if I don't, I will forget about it. And so you have to figure out what kind of works for you. For some of you, it might be just writing down in a journal or a booklet of some sort, like who your new members are for this month. I also use a Trello board, and I'm super happy to share what I use so you can see that if you're sort of more digitally inclined. You could use a Google spreadsheet, like whatever works for you, whatever is your jam, go do that. I've actually seen something with like Post-it notes, right? And you can kind of move people on the Post-it note, right? Like new member, month 2, month 3, and kind of tailor your communications that way. But what I really want to stress with our new members is we really have a lean-in strategy. I think for some people, they think once that person is signed up, okay, I'm out, you've got your kit, I'm gonna go work on a new member over here. And I really want you to think about this, like Young Living compensates us for the lean-in strategy, right? Like we earn 25% of our members' orders for the first 3 months. So it's really crucial. I mean, even data with other companies and other businesses will show in the first few months, that is the most critical time for a new member, new client, right? Because that's when they are just getting on board. That's when they feel most excited about the product. So this is your opportunity to lean in. That's why we call it our lean-in strategy, and give them, everything that they need. And so again, this will look different, a little bit different in like what you say, but what you do needs to be really similar. So whether that's they sign up and they take home a flip kit that day, or they get their kit in a week, whatever that kind of looks like. But I like to do a follow-up like in a week, and then 2 weeks after that. And then I put them on kind of a every 2 weeks after that, or every month for the first 3 months, like really lean in and make sure they know how to use their kit. Here's a video. Let's get on a FaceTime together and let's do this. We'll talk about some other things like Facebook groups and text messaging. I'll let the other ladies talk as well. But I think really leaning in rather than think they got their kit, they don't need me anymore, I'm out. Think about how often, like how many touch points are you giving your people when they first sign up? So Ashley and Rachel, I would love to hear from you. I mean, they are our in-person queens. Like they do tons of in-person events. So I'd love to hear your perspective. Uh-oh, I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? Sorry.
Sorry about that. What I love to do if it's in person, so I don't want to make this about flip kits, but just to point that out, I always give someone a kit if I have it on hand, and I make sure if I prepare in advance, that my new member welcome materials are always in stock. And what I mean is like, it's not helpful for me to be like, I'm going to give you this book later. I'm going to give you, especially if they have a flip kit. So I make sure, like last week I ordered 25 pocket references because I had none, and it made me panic because I enrolled people at the end of October and did not send them stuff for like 6 days after they ordered, which means they got their kit before their materials, and that is not my goal at all. I want them to get their materials with their kit or before. So my biggest part of onboarding is that I make sure they have materials that they can use to independently learn about their oils. So I always, I've never not given a pocket reference to anyone. Everyone does their own thing, but for me, I have seen that time and time again prove to be true. When people are not on Facebook, at least I know they have that. When people are not showing up to classes, at least they have that. So I do that. I give them the 4-year career for women. I've done the regular 4-year career too. For me, that $4 investment pays off because people read it at some point, even if it's not when they first get their kit. And then I always give them just a brochure, just like I use the Aaron Rodgers Oil Supply Store brochure, just they have like a trifold, quick look at it. I do an empty roll-on, and then depending if I ship it or not, I do an empty spray bottle with a cap of thieves, because not everyone gets thieves cleaner on their kits anymore. It just depends on who they are. I don't ship that. So, I mean, I'll just tell you, like, I don't ship a spray bottle with thieves in it, and I don't do the glass ones. I do aluminum from the Dollar Tree. So that's like what I've done traditionally. If I'm running some kind of promo, a special gift for them, I'm going to throw in a diffuser bracelet, or not bracelet, a diffuser necklace. I have those in bulk too, and I got them most recently from Aaron's store as well. And diffuser earrings, my cost is super low, but they look super high and beautiful. Yes, you can gift the Pocket Reference app, but you have to have a preferred membership to do it. So that's something that I know a lot of people have run into on my team when they want to gift the app. You have to pay the $99 to get that membership to gift the app. Then the app's, I think, $7. So that's something for me that's really important, and it shows that I value them. I also do a handwritten note, and then what I make sure that I do with new members, I will not remember to talk to them and follow up, because I personally don't need that. Like, it's personally not something I need. Like, if I buy something from someone, I don't really need them to check in with me 2 weeks later. Like, I'm going to use it because I invested in it, and that's like a decision I made. I'm going to use it. Most people are not like that. So I follow up within 2 weeks. I mean, some of y'all might say a week, but I just want to be realistic. Mine's usually a 2-week follow-up. It's like, what do you like best? If it's someone that I am seeing often in person, I'm going to follow up with them way sooner than that. I'm going to follow up with them like, hey girl, I know you took the kid home last night from the class. What did you diffuse last night? And then what I want to do is I want to create a behavior where I'm tagging them in our Facebook groups, because I want them to see that, like, I might be able to talk to them personally, but they're not just tied to me. They're tied to more than me. So get them plugged in. And I always make sure, if I'm strategically placing them, that I'm introducing. I'm not like, I learned that lesson from the beginning, that it's not super helpful, because people are smart and they will go in VO and they'll be like, who is Jamie Jo Sue? And who is Veronica? So if you're placing them, please make sure you give them the courtesy of telling them what that even means for them, and then explaining what their upline looks like, and how either things will change and they'll have 2 layers of support, or how things will not change, and that person actually is someone that you love and they'll love too, but they're not actively growing a business. So I just love to be upfront with that as well. That's really my biggest tips.
I think for me, Ashley is my incredible upline, and she handed me a pocket reference when she signed me up, and we duplicate the behaviors that we see. And so for me, that has just always been kind of a non-negotiable. It was an amazing tool for me before I got my kit. I found myself thumbing through it, and I was making a list of things that I wanted and needed, maybe for my husband or my mom, before I even got my kit. And I remember I circled back around with her, and I was asking her questions based off of what I was reading in that pocket reference. So that pocket reference also is a strong arm, not just for education, but think about it as a springboard for ER as well. And then one of the things that I like to do is when I sign somebody up and I'm in conversation with them, part of like my welcome is I will give them a sample. Like if they're telling me, we dive in deep somewhere in a priority in their life, I will give them a sample of something outside the kit that will meet a need. So I have a new mom who, she was like really concerned about the chemicals in her house, and I did give her a thieves cleaner, but I also gave her like a little bottle sample of the Seedlings Calm, and she loved it. And hey, all the seedlings line, they use that oil. So when I told her that, she was like really excited. She just loved the scent. So any way that you can wrap like a little small piece of your welcome around them and their specific need, there's going to be more of an incline to, oh, she's listening to me. Oh, this isn't just about a kit, but like she's really wanting to meet a need. And so then that follow-up conversation is a lot easier and a lot more natural. Smart.
Yeah, that's so good, Rachel. And I'm so glad that you touched on that. I feel like for anyone who feels like I already sold them the kit, I feel awkward or weird or whatever about the follow-up, when you sort of just do exactly what Rachel just said, it's the when the follow-up includes, let me help you do, come up with a wellness plan, or tell me what your health needs are and I can make recommendations for you. That's that micro work that we've talked about before, where it's very heavy on relationship building, but now they're already a member, right? So you're continuing to build the relationship and show them, the products outside the kit. Up until they get a membership, you're focused on the kit primarily, right? It's the kit, or one of the kits, a savvy kit or a thieves kit or a ninja kit, but it's always the kit, right? Once they get their kit, you show them how to use the kit, and then you show them products outside of that. So, we've done things like, let's, build a 3-month wellness plan. Let me help you with that. Answer these questions, tell me what you're thinking. What do you need for yourself, your family? What are your top health concerns? I mean, you guys, we all know this. There's like, when people talk about health concerns, there's usually like 10 things, the same 10 things that we all know, right? Digestion and immune support and weight loss and whatever. I mean, we can build 50 PV, 100 PV product lists around each of those needs. So, I think that's so good and such a great strategy, Rachel. And that's something that she duplicated from Ashley that their leaders have now duplicated on outward. So whether it's a 3-month wellness plan, whether it's, let me help you create something, tell me your wellness goals, whatever that kind of looks like, I think that makes a lot of sense, but you're helping them to build like a 3-month ER plan, right? I've even seen, and I will post a link to it, but when I was in Chicago, Sherry Pleko showed me this really cool, you remember those old carbon copy sheets, right? Like on the top sheet, it's what are the products that you use? And it'll be like laundry soap, bleach, whatever in your home. And then when you tear off that sheet, underneath it, it shows all the exact like Young Living products, but they've already checked it. So I need to get Thieves soap. I need to get whatever, right? The Art moisturizer. So it's really cool. And certainly you can use something like that. I'll post a link to it. I don't have that. You can kind of do that on your own, especially as you know the products, right? Like, tell me what you use. Okay, let me tell you what Young Living has. So that's a really great way to do that relationship building, the micro work, but also continuing on the follow-up. So guess what? When you contact them next time, hey, did you get that Thieves soap on your order? How did you like it? What did you use? Do you need any help? Do you need feedback, right? Depending on your washer, maybe you need to dilute it. There's all different things going on. We can't just rely on Facebook groups, right, to do all of the education. Either people don't see it, or it just might not be something that they naturally do. So love that, Rachel. That was so good. Ladies, can you tell me, so from the point that someone signs up, right, you give them a welcome gift right at the class. I mail mine out because most of my people are not local. And then you talk to them immediately about a wellness plan. What other things that you like to do to onboard your people?
So, I mean, obviously for us, where a big part of our community is online and a Facebook group, that's where a lot of education is. Again, there are some emails for people that are not on Facebook. If someone is, I like to immediately plug them into the community. I like to welcome them. And then we, in my group, we have a page where I have like really great information that I'll see places. Sorry. So for instance, this new mom, she gave me very specific things that she had in mind for her baby. And I was able to go through and tag her to classes that we had done about pregnancy and newborns. And she had lots of great info to go ahead and move forward with. And it wasn't me spoon feeding it to her. I was able to work on our relationship and plug her into the resources.
Yeah, I would say also when you're welcoming them, probably about a year ago, I started always using their picture when I welcome them to Facebook groups, to both of the groups. I add every single new member to Dream Team, which is my business group, and to my usage group. And I will never stop doing that because people lurk and read and then they ask questions. And that's exactly, I want them to think it's a normal behavior to share. So that is what I do. Again, we all do it our own way, but I 100% yes, always do that. But welcoming them with a picture is so powerful because when people are scrolling, they're like, oh, hey, I went to college with her. Where does she live now? Whatever. Or like, oh, isn't she, she is a dog, like whatever it is. And they comment and welcome. So I found that to be so powerful and so fun too. Just a fun tip with that anything you can do to personalize the experience for them is going to add value to their life.
Yeah, and my 2 cents here, I think you ladies are so good and so strategic with this. My 2 cents with this is, when we started 5 or 6 years ago, Ashley, Rachel, and I all kind of started around the same time. It was all about Facebook. And that's where you put all of your people, like rain or shine. That was where you kind of did all of your education. And now what we're seeing is either the algorithm or people are just not seeing it. There's just a lot of different things going on. Maybe it's just not part of their behavior. There's a whole generation of people who prefer WhatsApp or Instagram or texting, right? And so I think the important thing to remember is that ongoing education, yes, 100% agree with Ashley. Put them in your usage group or one of our usage groups and a business group. Do both because you can't assume that they don't want to know about the sharing portion, right? They can always take themselves out. Also send the email, just like Rachel said. Invite them to, your text series or your upline has a text series, right? We even have our new member orientation on YouTube. There's really no way that someone couldn't get the information unless you didn't tell them about it, right? So it's like, are you on Facebook? Are you on WhatsApp? I kind of feel like I'm in Cabo. Have you guys ever been to Cabo? They offer you everything. Do you want a glass bottom boat? Do you want a bathing suit? Do you want sunscreen? Like we got the information in all the places, okay? And so it's just a matter of like knowing where it all is. And so maybe what would be good is for us to kind of list the different places that you can access all of that so that you can, send people there in case they're not on Facebook. We've got the YouTube, we've got the text series and everything. Yeah, I love this. So April Pointer is here. I don't know if she would like to go and share with us, but April Pointer is like the OG. You guys, she's like the original here. We all learned from April because none of us knew how to do classes because we hadn't taught classes. And so we watched April's videos on how she taught classes. But what she said is she sends a welcome email that introduces them to 4 to 5 Facebook groups that are open to Team Young Living. So she's not the only voice for them. The email also includes links to books and Danette's videos. So Danette Goodyear is our upline above April, in case people aren't on Facebook. So again, right, she's sending an email. She's inviting them to several Facebook groups. She's sending them videos, right? Not everybody has their notifications on for their group. So thank you so much, April. She's so cute. If you were inclined to come on, we would love to see your face, but totally get it if you're like in your jammies. There she is. Thank you so much, April. That is so helpful.
I'm so like chilling at home today and saw this and I was like, oh, I have to get on and see what she's talking about because I love learning from you. You're always so great at teaching your people all the new things, and I just wanted to come in and learn from you. So
that is the sweetest thing. We're all like, April's here. What is April doing? Because she's an amazing, like long-standing business. Like how long have you been doing this, April? Is it 10, 12 years?
10.
Yeah. Yeah. So we learned so much from you. If it weren't for you, right, Ashley wouldn't have seen the video on how to teach classes. Like many of us wouldn't even be here had it not been for you. So thank you for pioneering and doing that class and putting it on YouTube. Right, Ashley? Yeah. So good. I love it. Okay, so we have about 7 more minutes. Ashley and Rachel, do you have anything else you want to add to our new member onboarding?
I will just say, I think the things that I've run into with some of maybe some newer people that might be signing their friends up. You signed your friend up. It's not weird that you check up on them for oils. It's still our job to help them use the oils and educate them on the oils. And it's actually a very respectable thing. I know, you know, it's not funny. Like it shouldn't feel weird because you're actually serving them and you're coming alongside them. And so I think following up, it is not hugging them. It is coming alongside. I was thinking of you. So that is my favorite thing. Anytime I follow up with someone, whether it's a voice message or if I'm sending them a message, my first line is, hey, I was thinking of you. Automatically, you're disarming them and you're pulling them in, and you can just say whatever it is, however you're following up. Maybe you've already touched back and they got their kit, but you're just doing another routine follow-up to see how they're doing, to open up conversation, invite them to get on the phone. I know that's a weird thing these days, but so much can open up on phone call. And so the conversation can go so many different ways. There could be so many opportunities to talk about essential rewards, to talk about teaching a class and all sorts of things. So as you get new members, just remember, like, the follow-up is huge. Ashley followed up with me for like several months before I even attended a class. Had she not followed up that strong, I would not be here. It did not bug me. It actually, I was like, oh, she remembers me, because I was not thinking about oils. That I want them? Yes, but I had a million other things. But she, because it's what she did, she made sure to follow up with me and got me to a class. And so just to keep that in mind as you're following up with people that you are coming alongside and you are doing, it's our job. It's our job to follow up.
Absolutely. It's good. Remember to invite them to things. That was my quick tip that might not sound exciting, but what I'm saying is they're not used to how you post and create events in person, online, however. So personally invite them. Like, hey girl, tonight we're having a Healing Oils of the Bible class. I really think you'd be interested. Here is the Zoom link. Not, I posted it in the group or it's in that email, but really making sure that you get them plugged in. That's something I found, that they might seem like they're good, but they probably need a few reminders because this is new to them. What Rachel has said, it's not the thing that's on the top of their head every day.
Yeah, both are so good. You know, Rachel, like, the follow-up doesn't even feel like she's following up, because you're like, the value that you provide to people is so key. And that's it. They won't feel like it's nagging or whatever, because you're providing value. You're genuinely checking in with them, right? You've done that micro work. And Ashley, I think that's so key, is that's really what kind of sets, us apart from other people, from other groups, from other businesses, is the relationship building. Inviting them to the community, inviting them to member parties, right? Like, creating the community. And I just really want to tell you guys, okay, when I started this business, I never went to a class, right? I enrolled online. I also never went to a member party. I didn't have a local community. I created those things, right? The same with Ashley. She never went to a class, right? I didn't teach a class. She found me online. She saw one of April's classes on YouTube and was like, I'll duplicate that, taught her first class, and then built a local community. So, for many of us, if you're thinking, okay, well, what do I plug them into? Because I don't have anything. My upline isn't here locally, so I don't know what community events to plug them into. You can create the community. That's what all of this is about. You can create the community, and then it's so easy to do that follow-up. Hey girl, we're doing that elderberry workshop, right? Or like what Ashley was saying, we're doing an ancient, oils of the scripture class. Come on in, bring your friends. It'll be so fun, right? So you build that community, even if your upline is in your town, right? Here's what I'm going to say. You don't have to wait for your upline either, right? I didn't have that experience because my upline's not here. She's in Texas. Let's say your upline's there. Maybe you've got 3 or 4 uplines. That's probably, a lot of the leaders who are under Ashley and Rachel. they've got upline leaders local. You don't have to wait for your upline. You can go out and create your community and create events and do those things. Give your people options. They can go to Ashley's event, Rachel's event, right? Tracy's event, anybody's event. But I think the community piece is really, really key. And I love that you said that, Ashley. It's not just here's the email, here's the Facebook post. It's I want to bring you in and fold you into the community. That's so good, ladies. Okay, do you have final thoughts for new member onboarding?
Keep it simple and maintain the relationship how it was before. I think we've kind of said that, but I want you to think about that. Deepen the relationship or maintain it, but don't don't stop talking to them is my biggest, just leave thinking that. Love on them. I always say date your new members and it will come back to you. Like literally date them. Maybe not romantically date, that's not what I mean, but literally like have a relationship where you're checking in with them. You're making sure you're still interested in their goals, interested in what they're doing, that you are absolutely confident of where they are on this journey, because you were when you were trying to sell them the kit. So don't back away now.
Right? Don't be in a weird dating situation where like you were friends, but now you're dating. So now it's all strange, right? We all know what that means, right? So, do that, like keep dating. And I've heard you say that before, Ashley, that's so good. That doesn't mean like, hey, I got you a kit and I'm out of here, right? We don't want to do that, right? No one nights here, right? This is an ongoing relationship. So, call and maintain, text, maintain those relationships. I think that is so good. Okay, so we talked about a lot today, okay? Everything from what to include in your new member gift. There's a lot of different, thoughts on this, but I totally agree with Ashley that you want to give some kind of reference material. I'm a huge fan of the pocket reference as well. I do like a welcome book and I'll give them a pocket reference after a couple of months, right? To kind of dangle a little bit of a carrot there. I like roller bottle sets too, like a set of like 5 roller bottles and like a recipe card, but something that they can use and make with their oils is really, really good. But the welcome email or a welcome text, we heard from April and what she includes in her welcome email. I'm happy to post what I include in mine as well. Inviting them to groups, making sure that they have access to YouTube videos, inviting them to a business group. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to mention. In my welcome email, I tell them right from the get-go, there's an opportunity. What I'll say is, as you start using your oils, you're going to want to share them. So here's how to create your own sign-up link so you can get your oils paid for. I include that on my welcome email. In our new member orientation, the 5th video in our new member orientation tells people how to get started with the Young Living business. So, again, don't rely on just a Facebook group, like I'm adding them to a business group. Tell them at various intervals, right? Here's your sign-up link. Have you seen this video? Have you seen the residual income video from Ryan Hayes, which is amazing? In your follow-up, especially in these first month, they're so excited with their oils. Why not say, hey, how about you get your friends together and I host a class for you and we get your oils paid for? Ashley, I would love to hear from you because I know you've been so successful at this, especially that's how you built your business in the beginning, especially.
Tracy, I feel like I don't really know what you mean. I did not do the videos. You mean sending them to people?
No, I mean offering to host classes.
Oh, that was so funny. I was like, Rachel, I do not know what she means at all. No, I was like, I've never been organized and sent them lots of videos. Oh, yeah, that's, it's something that now I would say it doesn't work as easily, but there was a long time where I would literally just say, so let's go ahead and get you your kit and we'll go ahead and book a date for the next time we'll get together and how you can invite your friends. And people would just choose dates. And like, that is what, like, that worked like clockwork all the time, over and over, normal behavior. Once one person set a date, the next person behind them set a date, the next person behind them. But the language I use is just literally when they're there at the class, I'm like, I don't say, wouldn't you like to do this with your friends? Super simple, gather your girlfriends around a kitchen table, or you could have it more than that. I found that more and more now, there's a couple girls on my team that more and more now they're doing that, but very much the person's like not hosting in their class. They're saying, okay, yes, let's get together at the same, if we're searching for at a venue and not at their house, they'll just host their friends there at the same place the following week or the 2 weeks from then. So it's just asking, simply offering the opportunity, making yourself available. And if you just taught a class, it's the first class for the person at their house, you're probably going to work with them to teach the next class for them at this person's house. But just making sure you're open and available, and that you're remembering this is your business and this is just something that's new to them. So you're going to want to go the extra mile for a lot of them.
So good, girl. Thank you so much. And rather than say what's the worst that can happen, I like to say what's the best that'll happen, right? I mean, I was telling my kids this morning, I'm like, if you don't ask, it's always going to be a no, right? But if you ask, it'll sometimes be a yes. So why not just ask? And so just kind of training them to get into that habit of asking. But it's the same thing with your members, right? What's the best thing that can happen? You tell your member, let's get your kit paid for. Bring your friends together. I host a class for you, whether that's in person, Facebook, whatever. I've done that with some of my members who aren't here local. I'll offer to teach a Facebook class for them. And they're like, okay, let's go. Let's do it, right? It shortens that process of them getting interested in the sharing side and the business side. So I think that's a natural part of the onboarding too, is showing them that it's even possible to do it. Okay, ladies, anything else that you wanted to add?
Thank you, Tracy. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Yes, thank you. All right, you guys, so I will share the recording as well as some of the links that we have talked about in the call, and I will put it in the group and we'll share in all the various groups. But thank you so much for being here. Love you guys.
Love you.
All right, bye.